Afternoon update on Wednesday, January 10th, 2024. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday so far. This storm coming up later this week and into the weekend is hitting on all cylinders and will be bringing heavy snow, heavy rain with possible flooding, and a significant severe weather outbreak as we go into the weekend. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, everyone. Hope everybody is again having a wonderful Wednesday out there. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below for detailed weather breakdowns across North America and helping me get to 75,000 subscribers. Also press the like button down below. It helps out more than you know. Looking at our past 2 days, the past 48 hours of snowfall, that storm that is moving out is definitely putting down some heavy snow across Kansas, eastern Nebraska, through Iowa, northern Missouri, into western and northwestern Illinois, and southwest Wisconsin, and then a decent swath across northern Michigan, and then up here and toward Maine as well. So this did leave a decent snowpack behind, and the storm here this afternoon is all the way up into eastern Canada, so exiting the picture here, and we are left with quieter conditions across the eastern 2/3 of the country this afternoon. More energy and significant energy with our next system moving into the west coast and the Intermountain West. Will be bringing some heavy snows and continues to snow heavily across especially the Sierras out here into California. So as we go into tonight, we have a fast moving clipper system, actually a pretty strong clipper system with a 998 millibar low pressure down here into northwest Illinois tonight. That could bring a quick swath of 1 to 2 inches of snow across southern Wisconsin, eastern Iowa, into northern portions of Illinois, and eventually northwest Indiana as well. And then that energy moving into the southwestern United States tonight will be bringing some heavier snows across the Rockies there into western Colorado, into Utah, into Nevada, and especially the central Sierras. Definitely seeing some very heavy snows tonight. Then as we go into your Thursday morning, starting off the day tomorrow on January 11th, that clipper system could be bringing some snowfall across Michigan, northern portions of Ohio toward the Toledo region, and then there's our main piece of energy moving in towards the Four Corners region on your Thursday morning. So with those two pieces of energy we're talking about, the clipper system across the Great Lakes region, bringing a quick 1 to 2 inches of snow for eastern Iowa, south central Wisconsin, northern Illinois, into portions there of the northern Ohio Valley, and then into Michigan, and then heavier snows across much of the Intermountain West through your Thursday afternoon time frame. We could be talking about widespread several inches, over 6 inches of snow here into those higher elevations, and also a couple of feet of snow for the Sierras there over the next 24 to 48 hours. And looking at those travel impacts, here's your winter storm severity index through Thursday afternoon. You can see across the west, the Sierras, moderate to major travel disruptions there. So if you go up in elevation, make sure that you have those chains on the tires because the snowfall will be piling up on those roadways as we go into the afternoon. Speaking of Thursday, our storm system we're watching will be diving into the Four Corners region and then into North Texas on Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. This is a 996 millibar low here on the ensemble model. So this is an average of 51 members, and it already gets it under 1,000 millibars, and then really starts to crank it as it moves north and eastbound into the northwest Ohio Valley to a 977 millibar low pressure on average with 51 members here. So definitely a pretty strong system. So let's look at this on the surface. So on Thursday, we have snow breaking out across Nebraska, northwest Kansas, and then back there into north portions of New Mexico and southeastern Colorado. Rain and severe weather will be breaking out Thursday, especially later in the day across the lower Mississippi Valley. We'll talk about that in a moment, but then very heavy deformation snow starting to set up here across the western Great Lakes into portions of northern Illinois, back into Wisconsin again, Iowa, into Missouri. But the question mark at this point on Friday is how far north does that rain snow line go? It could go as far north as Chicago, maybe Rockford, Illinois, or it could go further south toward Peoria and stay down to the south into central Illinois. We just don't know yet, and that will impact snowfall totals across those areas on Friday. Further south, though, severe weather outbreak ongoing Friday morning, Friday afternoon, and Friday evening across the deep south. You can see by Friday night that that storm system with the cold front will kick off the East Coast, but this will be occluding, so we'll be seeing more heavier snows, very tight isobars on the backside Friday night. Very strong winds, so blizzard-like conditions with a 970 millibar low pressure will definitely be something to keep an eye on. And then by the time we get to Saturday, this system will begin to move into eastern and southeastern Canada and affecting those vicinities as we go into Saturday. Here is our potential. This is a probability of an inch or more of snow through your Saturday, January 13th timeframe. Anywhere you see these brown shaded colors, that's essentially a 90 to a 100% chance you're going to see at least an inch of snow. And that takes into account northern Michigan, much of south central Wisconsin, northern Illinois, getting into east central Iowa there. And then looking at our 4 inches or more of snow through Saturday the 13th, still seeing those tan and brown shaded colors near eastern portions of Wisconsin, northeastern Illinois, and western Michigan. That's kind of the bullseye here with a 70 to 90% chance overall with that area of seeing 4 inches or more of snow. We'll dive into more of those totals tomorrow when we know more of the storm track and how far north that freezing line will be. But overall, our winter storm severity index for that storm system going to be formidable again. We have moderate, possibly borderline major travel disruptions across the Northwest Ohio Valley and through the Illinois Valley here and then back across the Central Plains with this system. And this is going to be driven by some very strong winds. Unlike the last storm, the snow this time around may be a little bit on the fluffier side in some areas, so it'll be easily blown around. So keep an eye on that. Looking at the rainfall accumulation through Saturday, very heavy rain on the warm side of the storm across the eastern U.S. Widespread 1 to 3 inches of rain here for the Ohio Valley, the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, and the Southeast. Widespread heavy rain could lead to flooding. So Thursday into Friday, this is already tomorrow, into your Friday time frame, we have a marginal risk of flash flooding here from around Evansville, Indiana, Paducah, and then all the way down through Little Rock here, including the Memphis area. And then as we go into Friday, much of the same areas across the lower Ohio Valley, but also a slight risk of flash flooding gets introduced here for much of the Delmarva region and then up toward the I-95 corridor. So Boston, Hartford, getting into New York City and Long Island, and then down in towards the Trenton region there in Philadelphia. We could be seeing some flash flooding potential Friday into Saturday. Now we have to talk about severe weather. Yeah, multifaceted storm, folks. We have severe weather on Thursday, a slight risk already introduced with the Storm Prediction Center's afternoon update across the I-35 corridor in East Texas on eastward. So the Dallas-Fort Worth area, especially there in Dallas, Tyler, Texas, getting up there into Little Rock, Shreveport, Baton Rouge, and then maybe as far east as the Jackson, Mississippi region. And this will be an area to watch east of I-35 there in East Texas, and then getting into portions of southeastern Oklahoma, much of Arkansas there, much of Louisiana, and then into western Mississippi with that tornado potential as we go into Thursday. And this is going to be a later day event. So Thursday afternoon, notice the snow on the backside. Yeah, we got cold air aloft, and when it undercuts some of that mild air from the Gulf of Mexico, we could have some problems. So dry Thursday afternoon. And then there we go. We got that cold front moving in, intercepting some of that mild, unstable air, and we have a broken line of strong to severe storms across the lower Mississippi Valley. Damaging winds and large hail will be the main mode of severe weather, but a few tornadoes will be possible there. And then on Friday, this gets even worse. We have an enhanced risk already 2 days ahead of time, already introduced here by the Storm Prediction Center for eastern and southeastern portions of Alabama, much of central Georgia, getting into the Carolinas here. This covers the Charlotte region, Columbia, back through portions of Atlanta, Montgomery, Macon, Georgia, and then all the way back to Jackson, still Mississippi, with that slight risk. And significant severe weather is on the way as well across the Carolinas, Georgia, getting into Alabama, and far northwestern Florida. Unfortunately, the same areas that just got hit hard the other day. So As we go into Friday morning, yes, we're already seeing that cold front moving across the Dixie Alley region. And my concern is ahead of the line, we're going to have these semi-discrete supercells developing even during the Friday morning commute. And these could be producing tornadoes already at that point. So we'll keep an eye on that. Then as we go into the afternoon, that cold front and those storms will push east into Georgia, the Carolinas, and northern Florida. And then finally, by Friday night, we'll begin to see that cold front and those storms moving off the East Coast. And we'll say goodbye to our severe weather outbreak. As we go into next week, behind this storm system, and this is high confidence at this point, we're going to have very cold Arctic air, and this is going to be plunging south all the way to the Gulf Coast and the southeast. Well below normal temperatures are expected. The Climate Prediction Center through the 20th time frame, that takes you through Saturday, January 20th. As we go there, and you can see, look at that. Low temperatures Monday morning. We could be waking up to -9 in Chicago, -15 for a Monday morning low there in Des Moines, and -15 back into Omaha region as well. And then when you add the wind in, it adds insult to injury. Look at that, 35 to 40 below zero wind chills across most of the north central United States there, heading off to work or school Monday morning. And looking at the afternoon time frame, it doesn't get much better. Look at that, single digits below zero across the north, double digits below zero across southern Canada, and the freezing line, more importantly, goes all the way down to the San Antonio region, entering into the northwest side of Houston, getting through the Shreveport region, Jackson, Mississippi, getting closer to Atlanta by then. And then as we go into the afternoon as well, look at those wind chills. 25 degrees below zero still across the north, and 30s below zero even still in the afternoon. Peak daytime heating across southern Canada. So some true Arctic air, and it's just going to stick around as we go into the middle of next week. This is on your Wednesday 17th time frame, with a little enhancement to some of the cold here across the western Great Lakes and central Great Lakes with our snowpack. And then as we go into Friday, another dip of the energy brings more cold air as we go into later next week. So a lot of cold air to go around, and even if next week wasn't enough for you, well, this is going to be pushed out a little further. Below normal temperatures along and east of the Rockies, especially centered across the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, and the Southeast. This takes you through the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday time frame and even beyond through the middle of the following week on the 24th. So we'll be dealing with some very cold air for the next several days after this storm system is over. Well, thank you guys so much for watching today's weather forecast. I hope you found this informative. And if you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below for detailed weather breakdowns moving forward. I will keep you updated. Make sure to press the like button down below. It helps out more than you know. Share this video with friends, family, and on social media, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Wednesday out there.